Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Naranam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, answers by citing the Lord's version, text number 34. So yesterday we discussed the first verse of the Chatu-sloki Bhagavatam. So today's text 34. Ritayartham yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta cha atmani tad vidyadatmano mayam yatha vaso yatha tamaha. O Brahma, whatever appears to be of any value, if it is without relation to me, has no reality. Know it as my illusory energy, that reflection which appears to be in darkness. In the previous verse, it has already been concluded that in any stage of the cosmic manifestation, its appearance, its sustenance, its growth, its interaction of different energies, its deterioration and its disappearance, all has its basic relation with the existence of the personality of Godhead. And as such, whenever there is forgetfulness of this prime relation with the Lord, and whenever things are expected as real without being related to the Lord, that conception is called a product of the illusory energy of the Lord. So Krishna in the previous verse said he existed before all this manifested creation. He is during and after the annihilation of this creation, only he exists. So as I said yesterday, the whole Vedic texts are just propounds upon three topics, three subjects. Sambandha, Abhidheya, Prayojan. So Sambandha, Krishna is trying to establish, trying to tell us our relationship with his relationship, our relationship with the material nature or with the energy of the Lord. And until he tells us, until he convinces us about his superiority over this, or his position, his superior position, we will not even try to develop the relationship with him. So in the previous verse, he said, confirm very, very positively, or like with full determination that, oh Brahma, only I existed before this creation, before whatever you see, and only I will exist after the annihilation. And now here he goes even further. He says, whatever appears to be of any value in this material world, there are so many things we see, they really look like they have some value. Whether it is material possessions, whether it is like car or property or money or our assets, or any relationship, any body, any relationship of the opposite sex, family members, whatever we see, Krishna says, if it has no reality, if it is without relationship to me, it has no reality. Of course, that was what Krishna taught to Arjuna also in Bhagavad Gita. But we have to understand, if anything is in relationship with Krishna, it is real. Otherwise, it is all illusion. It's all temporary, it's all illusion. And the thing is, since we are in illusion, we are in this Mike concept of life. That's why whatever we look at, it looks real. But it's all illusion. It's all temporary. It doesn't mean we don't do our duty. We do our duty, but understanding this is all Krishna's energy. And real thing is Krishna behind all this. Because Prabhupada says, nothing can exist without the Lord. It should be known that the illusory energy is also an energy of the Lord. The right conclusion of dovetailing everything in relationship with the Lord is called Yogmaya, or the energy of union. And the wrong conception of detaching a thing from its relationship with the Lord is called the Lord's Devi Maya or Mahamaya. Both the Mayas also have connections with the Lord because nothing can exist without being related to Him. As such, the wrong conception of detaching relationships from the Lord is not false, but illusory. So detaching a thing from its relationship with the Lord is called Lord's Devi Maya or Mahamaya. And using that thing in Krishna, in the relationship with Lord, in the service of the Lord, is Yogamaya. Yog means connecting. So it connects us. Maya, in this case, is energy of the Lord, internal potency of the Lord. Just like Ravan. Ravan kidnapped Sita. He wanted to enjoy Sita. And what he did was he separated Sita from Ram. So that was illusion. Hanumanji, on the other hand, he tried to bring Sita back to Ram. So that was the right thing to do. So Ravan was considered in Mahamaya and Hanumanji in Yogmaya. Both the Mayas also have connections with the Lord because nothing can exist without being related to Him. As such, the wrong conception of detaching relationships from the Lord is not false, but illusory. So everything is connection with Lord. Nothing is without connection, without Krishna's supervision, without Krishna's jurisdiction. Nothing can happen. But it's up to our consciousness, our mentality, how we use that thing. Misconceiving one thing for another is called illusion. For example, accepting a rope as snake is illusion, but the rope is not false. So sometimes we see the rope is lying on the ground, and if it is dark, we see, oh, maybe it's a snake. But the rope is not snake, but that doesn't mean rope is false or rope is illusion. Rope is there, snake is also there. Snake exists, but that rope is not snake, or thinking of that rope as snake is Maya, is illusion. The rope as it exists in the front of the illusion person is not at all false, but the acceptance of the rope as snake is illusory. So the acceptance of a relationship as if that relationship is for me to, I don't want to say enjoy, for me to exploit, that is illusion. Therefore, the wrong conception of accepting this material manifestation as being divorced from the energy of the Lord is illusion, but it's not false. So this material manifestation, that's what Mayavadi's philosopher says, Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya. It's not false. This material world where we are in, it has connection with Krishna. So it's not false. It's there, but it's not there for our exploitation. It's there for us to use it in service of Krishna. That is the real concept of Yogmaya and Mahamaya. And this illusory conception is called the reflection of the reality in the darkness of ignorance. Anything that appears as apparently not being produced out of my energy is called Maya. The conception that the living entity is formless or that the Supreme Lord is formless is also illusion. In the Bhagavad Gita, it was said by the Lord in the midst of the battlefield that the warriors standing in front of Arjun himself, and even the Lord had all existed before. They are existing on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And they would all continue to be individual personalities in future also, even after the annihilation of the present body, and even after being liberated from the bondage of material existence. So everything, I mean, all these souls will exist. The bodies will finish. This is what Krishna told Arjuna. So the thinking, the mentality, or the concept, consciousness of treating this body as permanent is illusion. Treating this body or anything related to this body for my enjoyment, for my exploitation, for my control, that's also illusion. So we live in so much of illusion actually. That is Maya. If we use the same body in service of Krishna, that's Yoga Maya. That's the right way of understanding. And verse says this illusory conception is called the reflection of the reality in the darkness of ignorance. The whole material world is running in ignorance. It's completely darkness of, or in ignorance of our real position, our real duties. And in that darkness, if something we see of any value and we think this is for my exploitation, that is illusion. That's complete illusion. For example, just like when we go see a movie in the theater. So in the theater, they have to make it complete dark for us to see and enjoy. And in fact, we enjoy it secondhand. It's called vicariously enjoying, means enjoying the movie secondhandly. The movie is not real. There's nothing real in that movie. Real in the sense that all the actors are there, the story is there, but they all are acting in that movie. So in that sense, nothing is real. Nobody is dying in that movie. Nobody is being born in that movie. They just show as if everything is happening. And when we watch that movie, we feel it is so real. We feel ourselves. We identify ourselves with one of the actors or actresses, and we go through the similar kind of emotions. But nothing is real. Those actors, they're just being paid to act like that. Similarly, in this material, that's why everything has to be done dark in that movie hall for us to really go through that experience. Because if the lights are on and we see everybody else in the movie hall and they are also going through those emotions, then we'll understand, oh, it's not real. It's all something going on. And there's just a moment of light or pictures on the screen. That's all it is. So similarly, in the material world, it's all kept dark in ignorance. One can say, oh, there is sunlight. Well, the sunlight is there, but we are completely in ignorance. Means our consciousness is in ignorance. So in this darkness of ignorance, whenever we see something, whenever we experience something, it's all illusion. That's all it is. So that's why it is said for the Guru, Om Agyan Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakya. Oh my Guru, you're very worshipable because you have brought me from darkness to light. So anyway, going back to the purport. In all circumstances, the Lord and the living entities are individual personalities, and the personal features of both the Lord and living beings are never abolished. Only the influence of the illusory energy, the reflection of light in the darkness, can, by the mercy of the Lord, be removed. So our individuality is never going to be removed. Only the ignorance will be removed. In the material world, the light of sun is also not independent, nor is that of the moon. The real source of light is a Brahmajyoti, which diffuses light from the transcendental body of the Lord. And the same light is reflected in varieties of light, the light of the sun, the light of the moon, the light of fire, or the light of electricity. So any light that comes in the material world is from the Brahm Jyoti, because that is the source of all the light. And Brahm Jyoti comes from Krishna. So original source is Krishna. So the identity of the self as being unconnected with the Supreme Self, the Lord, is also illusion. And the false claim, I am the Supreme, is the last illusory snare, the same Maya or the external energy of the Lord. So that is the biggest illusion, biggest um, uh, what can we say, biggest Mayic influence, that I am the Lord. Who are we? How can we be the Lord? We try to be Lord, we try to be Ishvara, little Ishvaras, we try to control little kingdom of ours, little office, little office space or space in the house, in the relationship. We want to control. We want to control our community. We want to control our society. We want to control our state. We want to control our city. We want to control our country. We want to control the whole world. This is slowly, gradually increasing our illusion. That is what has to be removed. The Vedanta Sutra in the very beginning affirms that everything is born from the Supreme, and this is explained in the previous verse. All individual living entities are born from the energy of the Supreme Living Being, the personality of Godhead. Brahma himself was born from the energy of the Lord, and all of the living entities are born from the energy of the Lord. Through the agency of Brahma, none of them has any existence without being dovetailed with the Supreme Lord. So, this body that we receive, that we have received, basically it's all made of the energy of the Lord. And on its own, the energy of the Lord is not going to come together to give us this body. It's produced by the mercy of Brahmaji. Brahmaji created 8,400,000 species of life. And Brahmaji got that power of creation by the mercy of the Lord. So without the mercy of the Lord, without his sanctioning, we can't have anything, we cannot do anything. And the body does not function without the sanctioning of Paramatma sitting inside the heart. So who are we? And we think we are somebody very big. The independence of the individual real living entity is not real independence, but is just reflection of the real independence existing in the Supreme Being, the Lord. The false claim of supreme independence by the conditioned souls is illusion, and this conclusion is admitted in this verse. So we think we are independent. We are not independent. Because we are part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna is supremely independent. He gives us little bitty independence. Only independence is of us is we can desire. That's all. And even to fulfill that desire, we need the sanction of Paramatma or Krishna. Persons with a poor fund of knowledge become illusioned, and therefore the so-called scientists, physiologists, empiric philosophers, etc., become dazzled by the glaring reflection of the sun, moon, electricity, etc., and deny the existence of the Supreme Lord, putting forward theories and different speculations about the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of everything material. So especially those two theories, or not the theories, hypothesis that has been going on. One is the Darwin theory and the Big Bang theory. Both are nonsense. But the scientists, they are hell-bent on proving those theories or hypotheses, but they can't. The medical practitioner may deny the existence of soul in the physiological bodily construction of an individual person, but he cannot give life to a dead body, even though all the mechanisms of the body exist even after death. The psychologist makes a serious study of the physiological conditions of the brain, as if the construction of the cerebral lump were the machine of the functioning mind. But in the dead body, the psychologist cannot bring back the function of the mind. These scientific studies of the cosmic manifestations or the bodily construction independent of the Supreme Lord are different, reflective, intellectual gymnastics only. But at the end, they're all illusion and nothing more. So all the scientists, if they try to prove anything independent of the Supreme Lord, they are completely in Maya, and they cannot prove that also. And Prabhupada gives a nice name, intellectual gymnastics only, nothing else. They can keep on jumping their brains like a gymnast does, but it's all illusion. All such advancement of science and knowledge in the present context of material civilization is but an action of the covering influence of the illusory energy. Even if they don't, even when they haven't established relationship with Krishna of all these technological advances, still it's a mercy of Krishna that they get so much of success. Medical science, even if they don't believe in the existence of the soul, even if they don't believe in the existence of super soul, and they don't believe the mercy or sanctioning of super soul, um, important in getting things done, still Krishna is so merciful. He still gives them some success. Seeing their endeavor, seeing their desire, he gives them some success. But it's not the complete success. That's for sure. The illusory energy has two phases of existence, namely um, covering influence and the throwing influence. By the throwing influence, the illusory energy throws the living entities into the darkness of ignorance. And by the covering influence, she covers the eyes of men with a poor fund of knowledge about the existence of the Supreme Person who enlightened the Supreme Individual Living Being, Brahma. So Maya, what it does, it covers our eyes, covers our intelligence, and it throws us in the material world. So even if somebody thinks I am very rich, I have so many industries I have started, so many technological discoveries or inventions I have done to or medical inventions or rocket science or nuclear science or whatever, and they think that this will make the life of ordinary living beings or my life very comfortable, and I'll be very advanced. This is all again. Of course, we are not saying technological advancements are wrong. There's anything wrong with that. Only thing is that consciousness is wrong. All we have to do is acknowledge presence of the Lord, hand of the Lord in everything that happens. That's all we have to do. And Krishna will be much more than happy to give us more and more so-called success. And at the same time, he'll give us spiritual success also. But even if we make so much of advancement materially, technologically, and don't acknowledge Krishna or God, then what's the use? Next birth, we don't know where we're going to get. Whether we would be able to use all these technological advancements that we have worked so hard in this lifetime to achieve or not, we don't know. Whether the same lab we spent our whole life working in, maybe we'll become a lab rat next life, where some more of our colleagues will experiment upon on the same rat, or we become a cockroach in that lab. I don't know. So then, what is the success? What is what's the real value of all those spending of time and working so hard day and night? What is the value? The identity of Brahma with the Supreme Lord is never claimed herein, and therefore such a foolish claim by the man with a poor fund of knowledge is another display of the illusory energy of the Lord. The Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita that demonic persons who deny the existence of the Lord are thrown more and more into the darkness of ignorance. And thus, such demoniac persons transmigrate life after life without any knowledge of the Supreme Personality of God. So this is what happens with the demoniac. Demonic means one who doesn't um, understand the position of the Lord, or who doesn't surrender unto the Lord. The sane man, however, is enlightened in the disciplic succession from Brahmaji, who was personally instructed by the Lord, or in the disciplic succession from Arjuna, who was personally instructed by the Lord in the Bhagavad Gita. So this enlightenment in the disciplic succession now from Brahmaji, it doesn't mean we give up all our activities of the day-to-day life and go sit in the temple. Of course, if somebody can do that, it's great. But the idea is to become a devotee of Krishna, even while staying in a home, taking care of families, taking care of our responsibilities, doing the job, making money, and spending so much of time. We think it's a wastage, but no, it's a consciousness that matters the most. Even while working, if we can become Krishna conscious, while traveling, while taking care of the families, while doing and so many activities in the family life, you all know more than I do. If we can just remember Krishna, and there is no guarantee, and there is no prerequisite that a person who lives in the temple be constantly thinking about Krishna favorably in the mood of service. Of course, he or she has more opportunities to serve Krishna, but there are other chances of offenses and chances of illusion is also there. But at the same time, understanding our precarious position and in living in a family life, if we engage ourselves more and more in service of Krishna, and if I feel that, oh Krishna, I cannot chant properly today, but in our heart we are crying, we are chanting, we are crying, or we are praying that Krishna, I cannot chant your name properly. That's a prayer. That's what Krishna is looking for, not mechanical chanting. He's looking for that prayer out of our surrender, out of our helplessness, out of our relationship with Krishna. That's what he's looking for. So this is what Krishna consciousness is. Of course, Prabhupada has written long purport. I will go towards the last paragraph. According to the Padma Puran, within the material compass, there are innumerable material universes, and all of them are full of darkness. Any living being beginning from the Brahmas, there are innumerable Brahmas in the innumerable universes, to this insignificant ant, are all born in darkness, and they require factual light from the Lord to see him directly. Just as the sun can be seen only by the direct light of the sun. No lamp or man-made torchlight, however powerful it may be, can help one see the sun. The sun reveals itself. Therefore, the action of the different energies of the Lord, or the personality of God and Himself, can be realized by the light manifested by the causeless mercy of the Lord. The impersonalists say that God cannot be seen. God can be seen by the light of the God and not by man-made speculations. Here, this light is specifically mentioned as Vidyat, which is an order by the Lord to Brahma. This direct order of the Lord is a manifestation of his internal energy, and this particular energy is a means of seeing the Lord face to face. Not only Brahma, but anyone who may be graced by the Lord to see such merciful, direct internal energy can also realize the personality of Godhead without any mental speculation. So, impersonalists, or Mayavadis, or atheists, or agnostics, or just like anybody, any Tom, Dick, or Harry, they all deny the existence of God. They deny the form of the Lord. But to deny that, the intelligence is given by Krishna himself. They want to deny, so Krishna gives them that intelligence. On the other hand, devotees want to serve Krishna, devotees want to have a relationship with Krishna, so intelligence, that kind of intelligence will be given by Krishna to the devotees. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tasatyave bhajamiham. So that's what Prabhupada is saying. God can be seen by the light of God and not by man-made speculation. So one who has the desire, Krishna will provide all the answers, the path, the person by which he can make progress. But if somebody wants to remain in darkness, Krishna says, so be it. It's up to you. So anything that we see, which is of some value, of course, everything in the world, we haven't seen the spiritual world, but even in this material world, anything that we see, it has some value. But if it is not in relationship with Krishna, it really has no value. Like in our temples, in the deity worship department, we offer Krishna and Srimati Radharani the jewelry, but that all jewelry is made of plastic and some metal covered with some glittering substance. That's all it is. There's nothing real. But since it is offered to Krishna with love, it becomes real. It has value. Materially, maybe not. If you try to sell that plastic pearls to somebody, he'll not even buy it. But the food, the love with which it is offered to Krishna, and Krishna accepts it. Krishna relishes that mood. Then it has great value. And if there is somebody has lots of diamonds and jewels, house, in Krishna's eyes, it has no value at all. It's of no use. So that's what this verse is. And next two verses we'll try to cover next 2 days. Hare Krishna. So I'll stop here. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.